I have a Vevor 9 kilowatt sauna heater, and it's been working really good. And it gets the sun up above 200 or above 100 degrees Celsius without any problems until recently. And it started to be really slow in heating the sun up. And so I was looking at it a little more carefully as it was working, and I realized that only two of the three, you could see it under through the rocks, you could see that only two of the three heating elements inside were getting hot. And so I removed all the rocks from the stove. They're right back here. And then I also removed the the little tray that the rocks sit on, which is right over here. And this tray just sits over the heating elements to hold the rocks in place, and it sits on these little tabs that are back here. There's 4 tabs, and as you can see, one thing I found is that there's actually, and I already knew this from reading online, that there was another set of tabs down there where you can set the shelf a little lower. It's about a 3 to 4 inch difference, and you could fit more rocks in that way and get more thermal mass. So all you got to do is pry those tabs out a little bit with a screwdriver and push the other tabs in, and you can put the shelf in at a lower level, which is what I'm going to do when I reinstall this, and then I'll install more rocks. What I was surprised to find out, though, is that I thought I was going to find a fractured coil in here. These 2 front coils were getting nice and red. This one wasn't working at all. I thought this was going to be fractured, but it turns out that coil is in pretty good shape. There doesn't appear to be any problems with it at all. They look pretty much exactly the same as the other 2 heating elements. So then I went down and removed the bottom of the stove, which is held on by 2 screws. And basically, when you come down here, there's two screws that go here and here. I don't know if you can see here and here, that hold this plate on, and then you can slide the whole plate back and see inside where the connections are made. And what I found when I got in there, so what I found when I got in there is that there was these sets of wires that are connected to the different heating elements. This is where the heating elements are connected at the bottom. And the first ones are connected, second ones are connected, third one only one wire is connected and the other one is hanging loose. And this is the one, of course, that's not getting nice and red for me. It's not getting hot at all. And so what happened, apparently, is the little tab connector that connects onto the little spade here at the bottom of the heating element just got overheated, and it broke the little tab connector off, and it or melted it a little bit, and it broke and it just fell off. So what I need to do here then is to remove this old connector, put a new connector on. These are the same type of connectors they have inside of electric stoves. And electric dryers. I'm just going to get a heavy duty connector for an 8-gauge wire, and then I'll be able to plug it back onto this bottom of this heating element, and it should work. And then I'm going to be using the lower shelf when I reinstall these rocks, and I just stick a screwdriver down there and pry open the lower tabs, which you can can see are there and there. Here's the upper tabs where the shelf was originally installed. So originally the shelf was installed so that only about 4 inches of rocks could be on top of it here. And most of the coil is way below the rest of the rocks. And the second place where the shelf can be installed, there's a second set of tabs. There's 4 tabs, as you can see there. And here's the upper ones. And so I just pushed these upper ones back in, pried the lower ones out, and when I reinstall my rock shelf, which is over here, it'll sit on those tabs. I'll put it down over the heating elements, lower it all the way down there and onto those tabs, and then I can stack my rocks in there, and instead of having 4 inches of rocks, I'll get 8 inches of rocks, so a bit more thermal mass, which will be nice. So I had ordered a new heating element, thinking that the old one was broken, and this one came from Vevor. Just so you can see what it's supposed to look like, it's kind of interesting. You can see it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops that come up. It's about 11.5 inches wide. The main part of it is about 11.5 inches long, but if you measure it, I believe when they put the measurements on the websites, they usually measure from top all the way down to here, which is about 16 inches to where the spade is, the electric connector is, and if you count the electric connector, it's about 16.5 inches. So about 11.5 wide and about 16 inches or 16.5 inches long. This is a 3 kilowatt heating element, and the reason it's 3 kilowatts is because you have 3 of them in there, so 3 kilowatts times 3 elements makes 9 kilowatts. And then I also ordered a box of rocks because I wanted, like I said, I was going to put more rocks in. And when you get these rocks, these are Harvia rocks. They come in this white box, which I found a little suspicious the first time I had ordered them, but this is my second time ordering them now. And I did confirm with Harvia that they actually don't put the Harvia name, brand, or logo or anything anywhere on their boxes. They send them in these plain white boxes with white plastic straps around them and some heavy-duty tape on it. And there's nowhere that it says Harvia rocks or anything on it, but they are the legit thing from Finland. And when you open the box up, you have, they're really nice rocks. So, and this is a 45-pound box of rocks that are what they call 5 to 10 centimeters wide rocks, 5 to 10 centimeter rocks, and they are from Finland. So these are the ones that are mined specifically for sauna heaters, and you can see there's lots of different sizes. They're pretty narrow though, 5 to 10 centimeters wide, and the idea is you can stick them down in between those rows of electric elements. Okay, and then finally, the type of connector that I was trying to show you underneath the stove that got fried on me is this type of an electrical connector right here. It's out in the light here, you can see it a little better. And this is kind of a cheap one that's maybe for a 14 gauge wire probably. I'm going to get a little bigger, more heavy duty one that can fit an 8 gauge wire in there, and hopefully that won't get melted off. I probably could fit this one on there, but I think it would probably just melt back off again. So I'm going to invest in some heavy duty versions of these, but these fit over the little spades on the bottom of the element. You can see here, if I had the wire on this can fit right over the bottom of the element. It just fits on there like a pressure fitting basically, and the wire would be hanging off this end. So that's the piece I got to get, is a one of these, but I'm going to get a little more heavy duty one, and then I should be all set to put it all back together again. Have a good day.